Welcome back to Jersey Matters. The opioid crisis continues to claim too many lives, and now some people who have watched loved ones suffer and die because of the opioid addiction have gotten together to do something about it. Les Wexler is president of the Rockaway Township Substance Abuse Alliance. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you, Larry, for inviting me.
Explain what the organization is and what you do.
Okay, well, our organization started 22 years ago. We're a substance abuse education prevention program, which we started back in 1998 because we were losing too many people to drugs and alcohol.
And that was then, excuse me for a second, that's 1998.
In 1998.
And it's gotten worse.
It's gotten extremely worse. I mean, 10-fold, 20-fold, 30-fold, that's how bad it is.
Yeah, you've gotten to see it. You're on at ground level to see what we talk about in the media all the time.
Absolutely, and not only have we seen it, but we've had to talk to parents and talk to family members who have lost loved ones, people that were young, people that were older, but just everybody that has lost someone or knows someone that has lost someone to drug addiction. And it's just gotten out of control, and that's why we started.
Yeah, I'm sorry I interrupted you.
Yeah.
You were talking about your organization. What from 1998 you were founded, what have you done from there?
Well, we did what we put into place in our middle school, Copeland Middle School, a 4-phase program which is 8th grade based, to educate the students in the strongest possible terms about the dangers of getting involved with drugs and alcohol.
It's horrible to have to say this, but is 8th grade too late?
You know what? Years ago, people felt, you don't need to do it in middle school, wait till high school. I can tell you, as I'm sitting here, high school is too late. You really need to do it in middle school. And in some cases, people want to do it in elementary school. And you know what? I don't have a problem doing it where the kids can start to get an early education. But middle school is definitely where it all plays out. And our program is 8th grade based because we want to make sure they get that message right before they get to high school.
Yeah, I think that a lot of parents live in an ignorant bliss about it, and God bless them because that's a good place to be. But everybody, I have a 6th grader and he knows about the opioid crisis, and he knew about a kid that had to leave school because he was taking something. So I know that's not too early. I know personally it's not. Probably in 1998 it was.
Yeah, it's just strange that back in 1998 we had lost 22 people in Morris County, and 20% of them came from our town, and we thought that was a lot. You know, fast forward 22 years to 2019, and you see the fact that 3,000 people died in New Jersey last year. It just shows you the epidemic that we're facing today. And we felt, and to this day, we still feel we're proactive in trying to get a message and get that message to our middle school kids before they get to high school, because at least they have a fighting chance if they get through our program and they hear and see firsthand from people that have been adversely affected and tragically affected by the dangers of drugs and alcohol.
How does it start? How do kids start on this path?
Well, I guess there's a couple of different answers to that. First, there's social media. Kids seeing things on social media that they want to experiment, they want to try. Could be friends, they want to be friendly with people, and they hang out with the wrong crowd. Other things that happen, and we've seen that happen, people that are in sports, youngsters that are in sports, they have an injury, and then they're prescribed an opioid or OxyContin, and
is that still happening?
Absolutely, absolutely. It still goes on today, and we just hope and pray that that'll change down the road, where they won't be prescribing things as deadly or as the quantity of drugs that they're allowing these kids to take, the painkillers. And I just think it's way too much that they're prescribing, and that's a problem also. So there's a lot of different factors that go into this.
I read about your program and the 4 phases, and it's wonderful what you're doing, but have you been able to expand beyond the one school?
Well, we have tried to put it into other schools. We put ourselves out there. If anybody wants to try and get a program into their middle school, they're more than welcome to call us. We'd love to try and help them out. But every time we try and do that, I hate to use the word talk is cheap. Everybody wants to do something, but nobody wants to take the lead on it. And that's a big part of the problem with some of these other towns. There's actually a bill down in Trenton at the State Senate and State Assembly to have our program be a model for the rest of the middle schools, because quite honestly, Larry, every middle school, whether it's in our state or any other state, needs to have an effective program at the middle school level.
It's difficult to have analytics on something like this. It's difficult to see what you prevented from happening. But do you have any stories of success? Do you know that this is working?
Oh, well, absolutely. You know, our middle school breaks off into 2 regional high schools, so it's hard to keep track with data. But the best way to determine is whether it's a success or not by people coming up to us and telling us, you know what, Les, my kids came up and told me about your program. And that's very unusual, because a lot of kids don't talk about what happened in school. But when they hear and see what's gone on and they're able to talk about it with their parents, we've broken down a barrier, which has really stood for many, many years. Again, we follow what the parents say, we follow what the kids say.
Has one of the kids said to you, because of what you told me, I was offered this and I didn't take it?
Absolutely. Oh, we'll hear that on, do I hear it every day? No. Would I like to? Absolutely. But we've heard from students that we know that have gone on to high schools, the 2 regional high schools, that have turned out very well, and we see them. They tell us, you know what, it did make a difference. I decided not to make the choices based on the people we heard in Copeland, the celebrities that came to talk to us. So from that aspect, it does have a positive effect, and we just hope that we can continue doing that.
Yeah, I saw the different phases. Is it the 4th phase of it where a celebrity comes in?
Yeah, the 4th phase of our program is the positive phase. The first 3 are all negatives, where we really hit the kids hard. But the 4th phase, which is at the end of the year, where we have numerous celebrities come in and spend the day with our kids.
Who's come in?
Anybody from Darryl Strawberry to Hall of Fame coach Bob Hurley, who comes back every year. One of the great young ladies in this country, Caitlin Roy, who was the hero teacher from Sandy Hook Elementary School.
Wow.
We honored her one year, and then after we honored her, she said, can I come back and be one of the celebrities? And she's been coming ever since. Jeffrey Owens, actor who was best known for The Cosby Show. Derek Murphy from the Harlem Globetrotters.
Wow, you could go on and on.
I can go on and on.
Let's talk about the bill for a moment. What are its chances?
Well, we hope that it will eventually pass. It's been sitting down there for quite some time. It just made it through the the Senate Education Committee, where I was fortunate enough to testify, and that passed through that committee unanimously. So now it goes to the Budget Committee, and then for a full Senate vote. Then it would go to on the Assembly side, where they would take up the bill as well. But it's been there for years. And I say to myself, how many kids' lives have we lost in all the years that it's been sitting there? Maybe if it would have passed sooner, or if it passed sooner, maybe we could have done
something. I get what you're saying, and it seems like such a no-brainer for this to pass. And there's money allocated for the opioid crisis, and sometimes we don't even know where it's being spent. And this seems like such a positive way to help with the crisis.
Well, and the other thing is, it's not an expensive program to get started. If you want to bring in people that are in treatment centers, like we bring in students from Daytop, it's not expensive for them to come in. You're talking maybe a few $100s. You bring in a parent or someone who's lost a loved one, they'll do it for free.
So we're not talking about tens of millions of dollars.
No.
We're talking about thousands of dollars.
At the most. And
well, I hope it passes. Good luck with the bill. Good luck with the program. Thank you so much for coming in to talk about it. Les Wexler is the president of the Rockaway Township Substance Abuse Alliance. Jersey Matters continues right after this. Still to come on Jersey Matters, connecting New Jersey's student athletes with charities to make them better people.